Good morning guys, it's Jeff Anderson here at Office Information Australia. I'm just putting together a quick demonstration of the Blue Car DocuSign Connector for iManage, which is essentially a tool that helps us to integrate the Docusign Envelope signing process into your either cloud or on-premise iManage work document management system. So I'll first run through a quick demonstration of what the user experience looks like, and then I'll show you some of the settings that are available in the service configuration. So for those who are not familiar with iManage Work 10 yet, this is the iManage Work 10 web interface. You can see we've got our familiar My Matters on my workspaces and our various different workspaces we've got available here. And then I can browse through to a particular workspace and folder that I want to view. And then I've got my agreements folder here in my Larry Johnson lawsuit workspace, which I've got some documents I want to start working on. So in this case I've got a partnership agreement, for example, and if I click the context menu, I've now got an option here to add to a Docusign envelope. So if I hit that, it's going to grab the document out of iManage and it's going to insert it into a new Docusign envelope. So you can see here we've got the Docusign envelope creation window displayed, but all still within the iManage work interface. If I'm not ready to go ahead with that yet, or I want to add additional documents to my envelope, I can just close that down. I can find another document like this one here, or I can go to another folder or workspace and add it, and I say add that to my Docusign envelope. And that's going to add that document to the same envelope that I've currently got open. So you can see I've got those two documents there now. If I close that down, I might pop back up to the main workspace screen, and you can see here I can see my current envelope at any stage, so I can see the envelope that I've been adding documents to that need to go for signing. And I might just remove that one that I just added. Close that down. I can also from here see all of the pending envelopes that I've got out there in the DocuSign ecosystem, waiting to be signed or waiting to come back into my system. So it doesn't look like I've got any there at the moment, which is fine. So once I've found the document and I've added it to the envelope, I can just go ahead and click the Create Envelope option. So what that's going to do here is going to check the document or the documents out of iManage. It's going to mark their document history, telling us that the documents have been sent out to the Blue Car DocuSign Connector for a signing process. And of course, as the document's checked out, other users won't be able to edit that document during the DocuSign process, which of course is important. All of these things can be configured. So if you don't want the document history updated, or you don't want the documents checked out while they're in the document signing process, we can also configure it to do that. So you can see here now we're presented with the Prepare New Docusign Envelope screen. So this is all Docusign functionality here. I can do things like apply templates, add new documents, add static documents, etc. to this, as you can do with any Docusign envelope. In this case I'm just going to use this single document. The recipient for the envelope is going to be myself in this case, just to make things easier. So if I hit next, I can add the signature bar and go ahead and say, hey, send this. Now because it's me, it's saying, hey, do you want to sign this document now? And you know, the actual sender of the envelope is can be a valid signer of the document. So I'm going to go ahead and sign that process. So once that process is finished, the Docusign system will send an email to me saying that that document has been completed. There we go. And then in the background, the Docusign connector for iManage is actually going to go ahead and bring that signed document back into the iManage system in a manner that we have configured it to do so. So here's some examples where I've had a document signed and come back. You can see here that the document name has changed to signed NDA agreement. You'll also notice that it's a new version and it's been declared as a record. If I have a look at the document history, the timeline in Work 10, I can see, I'll just have to change the date for you because this one's a bit older. I can see here that the DocuSign process was completed and signed by Jeff Anderson. Then it was declared as a record by the system. So we've got a complete record of all of the processes that document's been through in regards to the DocuSign process. The other thing you'll notice is that the Docusign Envelope history and the Docusign signing certificate have also been saved back into the iManage system. And these, we can configure the system to import these as separate documents, or we can combine all of these envelope history and signing certificate and signed document into a single PDF and save it as a new version. We've got various different options we can do there. Because they're separate, we've configured the system to relate all of those documents together. So you can see here this signed NDA agreement is related to the envelope history and the signing certification. So we can ensure we've got a complete package of all of the signing information saved along with the signed document back into iManage. So that's the process end to end. I just want to show you some of the configuration options which are available here. So this is the Blue Car DocuSign Connector service settings. You can see we can tell it how to and where to log into the DocuSign service, and we can have multiple logins for that as well. And we can also configure the defaults for the email that gets sent out as part of the DocuSign process. The Docusign Receiver can be configured to receive pushes from the DocuSign service when a document envelope signing process is completed, or we can have it configured to run sweeps at various different times of the day to get that if we don't want the inbound connection to be available from the DocuSign service. We obviously need to connect it to iManage as well, and this can be connected to on-premise iManage or in the cloud or Work 10. We support all versions. And then we've got a few options here you can see around what activities or what actions occur when a document's brought back into the iManage DMS. So you can see we're adding the document and the certificate documents as new docs, or we can save them as new versions. If there's multiple PDF docs being sent out for signing, we can configure how they come back into the system as well. We can change the comments which are inserted into the document history and make that customized to what makes sense to us. We can decide whether we want to mark them as records or not, and whether we're setting the author, renaming the signed documents, and we can use a mask here to tell it how to rename the documents. In this case, it's just putting signed in front of it, and also creating relations. We can also configure how the certificates and the history for the envelope are handled, and what naming conventions are used, and where they're saved, and whether they're related, and that kind of thing as well. So lots and lots of options there for how the documents come back in, but all of this will just help you to align to what your business requirements are. And so that end user process for sending documents out for signature, using this context menu, add document, add to Docusign Envelope, going through the document signing process, and then that finalized signed document automatically being saved back into the system as a new version of the original document. We've named it to say it's signed, and then all of the envelope documentation, like the envelope history and the signing certificate, are saved along with that signed document. So very simple process for the end user. It's all done from within the iManage Work interface. This can work in iManage Work 10 Web, and all of those right-click context menus are also available, so for say file side or desk side as well if you're still using classic clients. So that's it in a nutshell. Happy to have another session at some stage to show you a little bit deeper into the product or answer further questions, but I think you'll see that the end-to-end user experience is as simple as it needs to be and really ticks all the boxes as far as ensuring that we've covered the entire life cycle of that document signing process, saved back into the iManage Work DMS with all of the history records required and all of the tracking and audit history, etc. set, so we know what's happened to that document during its life cycle in the signing process. Thanks very much, guys. Talk to you later.